go see the film Everybody to Kenmure Street. And of course Nicholson Square in Edinburgh, let's not forget, where people turned out to protect their neighbours. That's who we are. And who we are also, actually, is a qualifier for World Cup. Hooray! That's the important point. The Tartan Army are tremendous ambassadors for Scotland. And they make sure the way that they pay respect to other cultures, the way they raise money for children's charities in every city they visit, the camaraderie, the outreach, all of that means that whatever the result, and I'm not going to kind of vex it, but whatever happens, we are already seen as a country on the world stage because of who we are. So, thank you so much for coming. Can I just say hello, because he must be watching, to Gordon MacIntyre-Kemp, who was struck ill this morning, who put much of this together. So it's been a tremendous privilege to walk at the front of this rally. You're lovely, and please keep going. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Leslie. Ready? I've got a couple of Kit Kats backstage. You want a Kit Kat? Are we ready for our next speaker? Please welcome a renowned civil rights lawyer who's always standing up for those denied power. Please welcome Anwar! Thanks, Alex. Brothers and sisters, no politician with a greater respect, whether it be the First Minister or many of the politicians who are here today, really know what the future holds for us. But anything must be better than the decades of austerity we have faced and are now being told to expect. The last time they urged us to vote not to save the UK, to vote against independence, they claimed they wanted to build a land of opportunity for all. But the reality for millions is one of economic misery. Every general election, the bookies speculate on who will win the election, but it's always clear in Scotland who the losers will be. The pensioners, the sick, the poor, the unemployed. People should ask the simple question: who actually runs this country? Why should we take lectures about the irresponsibility of independence from the very people who nearly destroyed the UK economy out of their unrestrained greed? Why should a handful of men be able to threaten the future of entire nations from £100 million yachts? The Unionists have spent years rubbishing Scotland's economy, but an impartial observer might ask the question: if Scotland is such a basket case, why are they so desperate to keep it as part of the United Kingdom? Yet after 300 years of the Union, Glasgow has 6 out of 10 of the most deprived areas in the UK, where some 51% of our children live in poverty. Life expectancy for males in parts of Scotland is the worst in Western Europe. Today, the stakes are higher than they have ever been. In each European country, mainstream politicians have engaged with ideas once relegated to the margins of fascism. Election campaigns, including in this country, have been fought with the lives of men, women and children, and a toxic combination of inhumane laws, public ignorance and hostility has bred despair, has bred contempt and fear. Even if the victims of war and famine manage to get to Great Britain, they face hunger, they face homelessness. We have a barbaric system in Westminster that allows for little hope, scapegoating the weakest. The pictures 80 years ago, of the emaciated corpses in the gas chambers of Auschwitz, Birkenau. Treblinka warns us of what happens when we look the other way. One only needs to switch on our TV screens, to scroll past social media, to see the civil wars, to see the genocide in Gaza, to see the racism, to see the misogyny, the homophobia, that starvation and torture is still the norm. Refugees fleeing war, poverty, persecution and disasters aren't a drain on the resources of this country. But it suits those at the top to pump out the myths that migrants in boats are the problem, rather than the rich in their super yachts. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician, nor am I in any political party, and there is nothing more than I care about in this world than my children. But a vote for an independent Scotland must be a means for a bigger dream. That dream is bigger than any party, it's bigger than any individual, it's bigger than any leader. But there is one cast iron guarantee I can give you if we were independent. The people who live in Scotland will finally make the decisions that affect Scotland. Westminster will no longer have the right to dictate what we should think, no longer have the right to dictate what we should think, what we should create, what we should produce. We will no longer be told we cannot govern ourselves. From warfare to welfare, from employment to foreign policy, from cradle to grave, we will have the right to decide our own destiny. I want a Scotland that stands as a beacon for human rights around the world. I want a Scotland that rails against illegal wars. I want a Scotland that stops Prestwick being used as a staging point for rendition of US bombers. I want to live in a nuclear-free Scotland, and I want a justice system that is worthy of a civilised society. It's about the future of our children, of our children's children. It must be about whether Scotland will put people before profit, whether Scotland will look after that dream should be about ending poverty and standing up for humanity. Over the years, as a lawyer, I have repeatedly been told by my peers and my elders so many times that there is no point. You cannot fight the system. But all the things we take for granted in this country, the right to vote, the right to equality, the right to gay, the freedom of religion, freedom from slavery, all these were once considered impossible dreams. But there is one freedom that we are still denied, and that is to be an independent country. And as I look around the world today, a system that can rustle up hundreds of billions of dollars to incinerate people in Gaza, in Beirut, Tehran, but never to feed them. It's not political naivety to demand a new Scotland. We must demand that the billions of deaf and stricken life, the billions should left away ordinary people, build new hospitals and hope. We do not have the luxury of waiting. We can win, but we all win. We're never scared. Days of truth. Thank you.
That was a really passionate and bang-on speech about what Scotland would be, what we could represent in the world. Our next person up on stage is a poet, Faye Dundee, a Scots writer, a playwright. She is part of the grassroots cultural revolution that is showing how confident the younger generation is, how able we are to represent ourselves and to express ourselves in Gaelic, in Scots, and English. Please welcome to the stage Taylor Dyson!
Thank you so much for having me today. It's here and to continue the discussion and the push for an independent Scotland. As Ali said, I'm a writer of Dundee and grew up speaking in broad Dundonian Scots. So hail spoke in Dundonian Scots. We would call Ori. I don't know if any of you ken that. And like many of us, we grew up thinking it was a bad thing, and I think a lot of people here can relate to that. It made us less that, and for too long, people across this country felt this way. It's a discussion I've had time and time again with people from all over Scotland, all ages, generations. But I think that we're at a point now where we can start celebrating the weakness we have. Our culture, our languages, Gaelic, Scots, English, those vital things reflect our place in the world, our national identity. We have such a thriving art scene already, as we've seen already today. I often think if we were independent in Scotland, it could allow us to have more representation in our languages, more diversity, more working class representation, and an even more thriving culture. Scots is incredible. It encapsulates so many dialects up and down the country. And it's not just about celebrating amazing artists of the past like Burns. It's a living, breathing language with multiple artists, poets, teachers, everybody working in it. So let's keep up the chat and push for what an independent Scotland could be. This is obviously only one small thing, but our language, our culture, our history, our present and our future. So, now I'm going to do a wee Dundee Scots poem about my great-granddad. He came over here from Poland just after the Second World War. And this is called Hope for a Better Future, which I think we could relate to right now. He worked a day and into the night. 14 bairns to feed and a wife to keep. Seen things nae I will see, ending up in a scheming bonny Dundee. Crumpled into a council twa bed, a garden to grow beetroot, rhubarb, a pigeon shed. Frae a sma town in Poland to Fintry, after war and losing his family. I never ken him, never heard his voice, but picture him clearly. Visited his grave as a baron, looked at the few photos, noticed his appearance past the generations, memorised his face, so imprinted in my brain. He swore like a sailor, frustrated with a local tongue, couldn't quite get his mouth round the words. Polish, to Dundonian, then English. There was a Polish club back then, next to where I live now. He socialised with other families in the same boat, a proper community folk foreign for their homes and trains. He started a family, so big, so o'er that the folk in near every corner of the world. He is a widower in Poland, fair to one daughter displaced in Dundee. This town that bracks were hats and fills it up. His heart sinks here look who wanted to and wish for what could have been. Did he ever look back or just look forward? I think sometimes we should look to the times before, on our ancestors, what it took for them to live, blessed for some of the things they passed on. Cheekbones, recipes, words, love and hope. Hope. I think he must have had hope after everything that passed. Hope for a better future any of these days. Thank you so much.
Oh, Taylor Dyson, and hope for a better future! Incredible. Next up, we've got two phenomenal speakers, the new younger faces of the political leadership in Scotland. Please welcome Gillian Mackay and Ross Greer MSPs.
My goodness, there's even more of you from up here than it felt down there. Thank you all for being with us. We're so proud to be here with you on behalf of the Scottish Queens. I'm proud to see so many people here today, and I'm proud to be part of this march for democracy, because that's what independence is about. It's about democracy, it's about making our own decisions, it's about being able to do things differently. It's about recognising that the best people to decide what happens in Scotland are the people who live here. Why should we be forced to choose between a far-right Reform Party and a Labour Party that's punished disabled people with cuts and armed fund Israel's genocide against Gaza. Not even Anna Sarwar thinks that Keir Starmer is fit to be Prime Minister, so why should we have to put up with him? We can do so much better than that, and there is no time to waste. Every day that we're in Parliament, we're coming up against the limits of devolution. Whether it's raising wages, cutting bills, or protecting our environment, we're constantly told that we can't do it. We're told to accept that we don't have the power or the right to change things. Thank you, Ross. We're told to accept that the most important powers will always be at Westminster. Well, I don't accept it. I don't accept that there will always be poverty, or that we need to scapegoat and demonise people who've chosen to make a home here. Scotland is a welcoming country, and one that can make our own decisions. We could be a voice for peace, justice and human rights and for our planet. We could reject the hostile anti-immigrant environment whipped up by Westminster parties. We could stand up for ourselves and stand up to Donald Trump and his attacks on Iran. We could decide to be a republic where our leaders are elected rather than inheriting their position. But we can only do any things with independence. Without it, we'll continue having the biggest decisions made for us by people who don't listen to us and don't care what we think. We were lied to in 2014. We were promised so much, and instead we ended up with Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, and a Brexit that Scotland voted against. We can't let that happen again. We need to speak to our friends, speak to our neighbours, speak to the people who have changed their minds and build the biggest and strongest movement that we can. I'm here because I believe that we can do better. We're here because we believe in our right to self-governance. We're here because we believe in our right to do things differently. I'm here because I believe our future should be decided by the people who live here. I'm here because I believe in Scotland. It's time to demand better, it's time to stand together, and it's time to stand up for Scotland. Thanks much, friends. I'll now pass over to Ross.
Thank you all so much for coming out today, and what a brilliant day it is for us. Almost every single time we have one of these marches, the sun is shining. I think that's a sign. I think that's a sign that someone somewhere wants us to achieve our goal. And friends, we're here because we all believe. We believe in Scotland. We believe that this can be a fair country, a more just country, a country that plays a peaceful and constructive role in the world. And you know, that's why the unionists get so wound up by it. We're all here because we have hope for the future of our country. And they cannot offer any alternative to the hope that comes with independence. Every day for the last 10 years, I've had to share a parliament with politicians who get up every day to say what Scotland can't do, to say what Scotland shouldn't do, to say that we should get back in our box, that our dreams, our optimism for the future should be smaller. Well, we're here to say that we have had enough of that. This country couldn't be bigger. We know that Scotland can be better than a country where the top 2% have wealth, half of the population combined. We know that this can be a country that's better than one where 1 in 5 children are in poverty. And with the limited powers that our Parliament already has, shown the people of this country value of Scottish government. It is because of our movement, because this is not just a movement for an independent Scotland, but a fairer Scotland. It's because of this movement that Scotland is right now the only country in the UK where child poverty is already falling rather than going up. Because the energy for progress in this country sits exclusively with our movement. The politicians on the other side, the parties on the other side, they're not coming up with the solutions to the problems that we face. They don't want us to solve them. As Gillian said, we can all think back to 2014. We were told vote no, it's the only way to stay in the European Union. Don't vote for independence, your energy bills will go up in an independent Scotland. Well, we've seen what more than a decade staying in the Union after 2014. It's not the future that the Unionists promised us. That's why independence is now the position of a majority of people in this country. So over the next 40 days before the election, there's a challenge for our movement, whichever parties in the movement we're all from or whichever party we all support. There's a challenge for our movement. How do we inspire the people of this country? How do we inspire even more people to believe in Scotland, to believe that this country's future is best placed in the hands of the people who live here? In 40 days' time, we have the opportunity to do something we've never managed to do before. We have the opportunity to do a poll just this week showed is possible, to get a 2/3 supermajority for independence elected. We can show Keir Starmer, we can show the entire Westminster establishment that the people of this country are ready to take its future and put it into our own hands. We are ready to unleash the vast potential of this country. I believe that Scotland not just can be a better and a fairer place. I believe that with independence we will soon be that better, fairer country, a country that unleashes its full potential. I am ready for Scotland to be an independent nation. Are you? Thank you all so much for coming today. Let's do it. 40 days to go. Let's hear it for our Green co-leaders. And now we've got some music ready for a few tunes. We've had the Bonnie Scott today, now we're getting some Gaelic from the West Coast. Who's a Gaelic speaker in the house? Who'd like to be a Gaelic speaker in the house? That's the good stuff. Let me get this pronunciation correct. Is that a Gaelic heckle? Love to hear it. Irish McGuvan agus Harrigan. We can do better than that. Let's do it for them. Kimmer Hashem. Billy J. Down here. Well, the speech is Mackay and Messan Oban and Shaw.
Hello.
My name is Angus Smith and my name is Mackay, and we've come down from Oban to sing to you today. But we've met up for it with some friends here in Edinburgh. My wee cousin Andrew, his pal Ray, and their mum and dad. Not their mum and dad, their mums. And we're here to sing you a song that's very dear to my heart. I wrote this song about 20 years ago. It was at a fair in Oban, tutoring the kids, and we did a register where there was Gaelic singing and guitar. And what we do, we'd say, oh, Andrew, he would go, Hanny Shaw, Rory, Hanny Shaw, which means, I am here. Are you here? So, the words in this song are very appropriate. It's about a revival in the Gaelic language through the children. And there are children, thousands of them throughout this land, speaking Gaelic, aren't there? And
the words are, you know, Hammy Shaw, I am here. Vilugam Clayton, can you hear me? Hammy Shaw, Polarisha, I am with you. Right, we're all here together, we're all friends, aren't we? Yeah. And we're all wishing the best for all our friends throughout this land, whether our supporters at the moment or not yet. And then what songs on there? Hagalak Beo Hast, Alison Cheershaw. The Gaelic's still alive in this land, vibrant language. Hagalak Beo Hast, Alison Cheershaw, Avelugam Cleinshin, can you hear me? Halana Chundach and Tal Magnaln and Drast. The tide is turning. Our time is now. Vilugam Cleinshin, can you hear me? Oh, Alabama, what do we can? Oh, Scotland, my own country. Esht, Riedel Klein. Listen to your children. Here we go. Hamish. A voice, who are we? Where are we? Gaelic Beo Hast, hope is alive. Alison Cheershaw. Happy Nation.
Let's hear it for Angus and friends. Angus Carrigan. Are you ready for a guy that's won a few acting awards? You're getting for all sorts of plays. He is a Golden Globe winner. He is an Emmy winner. Olivia winner. And he is, most importantly, Dundee's ambassador to the world. Please welcome to stage Mr. Ryan Fox.
Hi, how are you? Good time. So I've come very late to all this. I've been ploughing my own furrow for many years now, so I didn't realise how much Scotland meant to me, how deeply it means to me. And it's really come to me in my later life. But I feel it's time that we were free. We are not free. And we are people who will make it free. And it's up to you to do it. We've been treated like the poor relations for long fucking enough. We really have. It's time we showed who we are and who we are as a people. I can't get out of my system. I'm a Dundonian, to believe. I was the only one who understood her poem, by the way. Nobody else did. But it's just amazing that to see you all here, to know that we all share the passion. And it's not about parties, it's about people who want free Scotland. And that's what we have to get. So get out there, get your neighbours and say, get out voting and make this country, for fuck's sake, free. Thank you.
Magnificent sight this is on Calton Hill. The voice of the people of Scotland demanding our independence. This march is so important, and I want to thank Believe in Scotland, Gordon MacIntyre-Kemp and everyone involved for giving us this opportunity to say loud and clear throughout Scotland to the international community, Scotland is ready for independence and it is coming now. We're a country of good values. We believe in compassion. We believe in dignity. We believe in the respect of other people. We believe in equalities. We believe in human rights. We're against illegal wars. We're in favour of peace around the world. That's who we are as a country. But the United Kingdom stops our voice being heard on the international stage. And I wanted to be heard loud and clear that Scotland is a country that believes in peace. We abhor nuclear weapons. We abhor war around the world. We are a country that believes in peace and equality and fairness, and we will be our independent voice in the days to come. I am proud to lead a government in Scotland that is reducing child poverty, that's improving the lives of people in our country. But we are held back by the decisions of Westminster, where in an energy-rich country, our people live in fuel poverty, paying sky-high fuel bills. That's the fault of the United Kingdom, and we must take Scotland's energy wealth into Scotland's hands with independence. happen for the future of our country, for the future of our children and our grandchildren in Scotland today. So we have an opportunity in the weeks to come in the Scottish election of making sure that Scotland's voice is heard and that Scotland's future is taken into Scotland's hands. So I say to every one of you, this is a moment for action. This is a moment to take the marching that we've done together in solidarity, in a sense of community that we've all enjoyed today, out into the streets and communities of Scotland to make sure Scotland's voice is heard on the 7th of May. Now we've got colleagues from other parties here today, and they will make their pitch for how people should vote in the election. But as leader of the Scottish National Party, let me make it clear. I want an overall majority so I can take Scotland's future into Scotland's hands. Friends, we've come a long way as a movement. We've come so close to winning independence in 2014, and since then the public have seen the rip-off of our energy bills. They've seen Scotland ripped out of the EU against our will. They've seen our name and taken in vain in the international community, and we've had enough. So let's take our opportunity on the 7th of May. Let's stand together. Let's get that emphatic SNP win, and let's take Scotland's future into Scotland's hands and win our independence. Thank you very much.
MacIntyre-Kemp, Marcus, Andrews, Jack, David Spacey, Angus MacDonald, all of you are so helpful today. Police Scotland, Edinburgh City Council, the only cheer they've ever had in their entire life. You host Alistair Hare. And now I'm going to ask all the acts to turn to your adoring audience. Can I ask Mr. Swinney, Mr. Cox, all your acts, can I get a big cheer for Kevin Moore, for Leslie Riddick, for Angus, Rhoda and Catherine, for Taylor Dyson, for Anwar, for Brian Cox, for Gillian, Mackay and Ross Greer, Mr. John Swinney! Thank you everyone for coming, thank you so much. Please make yourselves, thank you so much for coming. Get a big round of applause for the crowd from stage. You guys have been amazing. Now, as we get ready to build for the election, take good care of each other getting off the hill. The safest way is back the way we came. There's too many of us to squeeze down the stair, so head back down that way. Anyone that use the minibus, head across the car park behind the monument. You can start forming an orderly queue there. So one last time, thank you to all the speakers, and thank you to all of you.